Welcome back, guys. It's Chris23 with a league racing comeback for the first time in 2.5 years. We're going to be back racing in leagues, and we're back on F1 2024, the new game. Been testing it for a while, feeling comfortable so far. So, yeah, we're going to get back into league racing with McLaren at Competitive Formula Racing League. So yeah, looking forward to the rest of the season, Series 2. So it should be competitive. And yeah, see you guys in the first race in Japan.
This is a circuit where sometimes you see something truly exceptional behind the wheel. We've seen it from Vettel, we've seen it from Verstappen. It is a remarkable place to watch a car at speed. Welcome to Suzuka. We're qualifying for the Japanese Grand Prix.
And we're here in the garage for the first race back after 2.5 years of no league racing. We're here at Suzuka, Japan, a very famous track, a very old track that not many people love. I mean, for the last games, I wasn't a big fan of Suzuka. Always had good results here though, so I don't know how that plays out. But yeah, been confident through practice. It felt really good when doing race pace. We'll see about qualifying. The weather looks a little overcast, some clouds on the horizon. No rain expected for now. So we'll see how it goes as we're going to prepare for our first lap around the middle of the session, trying to check out how the league is in terms of pace and where my first proper qualifying lap is going to be after such a long break. So yeah, we pull out of the garage for Q1 as we have a full qualifying session today. Enough players to fill out the whole, I think 17 or 18 grid spots at today's race. Yeah, we roll out into turn 1, back in McLaren colors. As you can see, it's not the original livery. Due to the game's inability to create equal cars with normal F1 cars, so we're using the F1 World Car. So we have to prepare our liveries ourselves. I think we've done a good job with McLaren here. As we start our first qualifying lap after 2.5 years, rolling into turn 1 with DRS open, hot lap mode on. Not using too much overtake as it is available this year in qualifying, but we roll into turn 1. Decent turn 1 of our qualifying lap time. But this is the first session, Q1. Trying to get through on one set of tires as we only have 3 soft sets. Of course, fourth one gets unlocked in Q3. But we're trying to save a set for the next sessions as we skip to the end of the lap into the final chicane, safe on the curbs, trying not to get invalidated lap times there. Very easy to mount the curb too much and get invalidated as we put in P3, 29.1 for the moment. A few people still on the medium tires, so we will see how it pans out. Towards the end of the session, we'll in P9, our lap time good enough to get us into Q2 safely. We're good half a second above, okay, around 4/10 above P16. And yeah, we make the cut as all 20 drivers actually compete. I was wrong before that. But yeah, we're through into Q2 pretty safely as we'll see a confirmation. Yeah, like I said, through into Q2 on only one set of tires. Hopefully we can get into Q3 on one set of tires. But currently we roll out for Q2 lap time again around the middle of the session, trying to run in the gap when others go right at the beginning. I think all 14 or 13 cars went out right at the beginning of Q2, and we can see them finishing their lap times now, beginning of the racing line. As we have one car ahead of us, but he'll let us by before our final lap time. Still warming up the tires. In these weather conditions, these tires don't heat up at all. It's very difficult to put temperature into them. As you can see, 85 degrees. The guy behind not really know what he's doing. I think it's the same guy that was blocking us slightly into turn 1. Of course, I was on my lap time, on my out lap, so it wasn't that big of an issue. But we roll out of the final chicane onto the main straight. DRS open, of course. 8th gear going towards turn 1, which is flat out in these conditions. Probably will be flat out throughout the race. But it'll tuck in and into turn 2, nice and tight on the curb. Don't touch it too much as it might spin you out. And into the S's. Very difficult section as the curbs want to kill you pretty much every time you touch them, especially the latter ones. But we deal with them pretty nicely. It's still pretty off the limit of the car. not pushing too much as it is our first lap time. Of course, trying to get through on myself tires, but we might have to go again. Looking at how tight the field is, very late into the second deck, and I'm going very wide on the exit, and now heading straight into the hairpin. That lost a lot of time. I would say around 2-3 tenths could have been lost there, as we completely make a mess of that corner. Very nice through the hairpin, nice and tight on the entry, and we head towards Spoon Curves, one of the only straight bits of that track, flat out bits, and we tuck into the corner, clip the inside curb, again, try and keep the car as tight as possible, and we roll out to the back straight, going into 130R, also one of the longest flat out sections at Suzuka, in this corner, 130R, fully flat out in these conditions, so it will be in the race as well, but we brake very hard into the chicane, clip the inside curb, clip the mid-corner curb, and onto the main straight again, open the RS for the final bit of speed, and it's going to be P7, going a tenth slower than our Q1 lap, which means we have a lot of time to gain on the second lap, and we're going to roll out straight out, going into pits, changing tires, and at the end of the session, going out for a second lap time, trying to improve it. I know there is at least 3-4 tenths in that lap at the minimum to gain back, especially after the outbreaking myself in the darkness. So we're going to roll out, and no many cars on tracks, people already going out for outlaps, but a few people still in the box with 3 minutes to go. So we're going out pretty late. We will make the line, of course, but we're going to finish our lap after the session's over. And we're going to skip right to that, into the final chicane. Nice and tight on the curbs, good exit. That should give us a little bit more speed down the straight. Open the RS, and we're rolling into turn 1. Of course, losing a bit of time, depends on the exit of the chicane. But we go into turn 1, nice and flat out. Good braking, tight on the curb. And a nice and good exit on the curb, gaining us a bit of time, and now committing into the S's, using as much curb as possible before spinning out, avoiding that one, and nice and tight to this, keeping it in 4th and 5th gear, going up the hill, clipping the curb slightly, but that should not upset the rear, and we're up 2 tenths on our previous lap times, and into the Degnas, nice and safe, trying not to make the same mistake, very good braking, clipping the curb in Degna 2, and on the exit, gaining us almost 6 tenths of a second, braking into the hairpin, nice and aggressive, tight, using the curb to rotate the car, also gains us around half a tenth, and now we're speeding to the Spoon Curves, no ERS usage yet, and we have 7th gear, 290 kilometers per hour, committing into the Spoon. The small mistake here, and small slide, losing us a little bit of time, but we're going straight up the hill and into 130R, using ERS in overtake mode to give us that little bit more burst of speed. We're still 6 tenths up on our previous lap time, committing into 130R, a little bit off the curb, losing us time, but now hard braking into the chicane. We clip the curb, a lot of oversteer though, right on the entry, using too much brake on the turn-in. That loses the car, loses almost half of our advantage, being almost 7 tenths up into Spoon. We lose almost 3 to 4 tenths, putting us in P12, only 3 tenth improvement. And that's going to be us out in Q2. What a terrible, terrible mistake right at the end there. That could have been easy P6, but we have to get on with it, get our head down, as points are only for Sunday, and we'll see how it goes on the race.
As of 2022, 12 champions have been crowned at the Japanese Grand Prix. Who will be tasting glory today at the flag? The lights go out in a few moments' time.
As we're here on the grid for the race, that's where points are won. So this is going to be an important one, starting P12 after a big mistake in qualifying. We see if we can bring it back to get some good points, maybe something more. We'll see. Of course, it's a very hard track to overtake on, so it will take some moves to mop up the field, but we'll see how it goes. We can see the strategy here. I'm going for something more different than everybody else. I'm going to start on the hard tire after practicing, seeing how much less it degrades throughout the laps of the race. So I'm going to choose the hard and then soft at the end. Hopefully we can get helped out by a safety car or something. So we'll see how it goes. But the hard tire was the best choice personally after practicing both on the medium and the hard. The medium degrades really quickly and the sliding appears very quickly. So getting the hard tire, getting the consistency of that tire will be very important for this race, as there probably will be many incidents, as it is Suzuka, a very difficult track. I'm expecting a couple safety cars, so this strategy might change throughout the race. So we're gonna act when the safety cars comes out, but now we're gonna go to the formation lap and to the grid. And yeah, here we are, formation lap, very important formation lap, as we are starting on the hard tire. Everybody else around us, literally everybody else, is on the medium, so we have to put good work into this tire. Of course, not wear it out too much, but get it up to a decent temperature window. As you can see, I tried my best, but it's so difficult to warm up tires this year. So we're going to roll into the grid with a slightly underheated tire, but we're gonna have to manage it through the first lap. So it's gonna take a longer to get these tires up to racing temperature as well, probably around 2-3 laps. So the medium tires should be faster than ours, but we'll line up in our grid spot, perfect parking, purple, 0.3 meters away from the line, and we're going to wait for the rest of the grid to form up and the 5 red lights as we load. And there's 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and away we go. Kart tire against mediums. We don't get the best getaway as the guy from behind us pulls out ahead. We're trying to get into turn 1. We regain that spot back. He still sticks it around the outside though, but he is blocked off by the car ahead, but again fights back on the exit of turn 2 and slides ahead into the S's. I had to let go. I'd rather let him go than have an incident and have some damage. Or we tried to look down the inside as he opens the door slightly, but no space there, and we stay put in P13 so far. Of course, that was predictable from choosing the hot tire, but we should start gaining soon as he gets a huge slide of oversteer on the entry and then the exit, and we regain P12. Good braking in the hairpin, nice and tight. The Aston Martin head has gone a little bit wide, but then gets a much better exit onto the straight before the spoon curves as we try and follow him. We're gaining and gaining. I think I'm running a lot less wing, especially on the rear, than the rest of these guys, and we tuck into spoon 2 as there is a spinner right on the racing line. We managed to avoid him with no damage, and we're up to P11. We're already 1 place behind the points. That's the progress we want to see. We're losing a lot of VRS on this lap, already on 30%, but it's much easier to regain battery this year as the guy is recharging into the chicane. We tried to look down the inside, cut the curb on the inside, but no good move done. As we tried to do a switchback, didn't really work as these tires are still not up to racing temperature. But we gain and gain and gain down the main straight into turn 1. Nice on the inside, we slide into P10. The guy doesn't fight much, as I think he knew we had more overspeed than him. And we go into the S's again, very hard to turn in the car. The car is still slowly getting up to temperature. The overcast conditions are not helping this as well. So we're still ahead. We're up to the points now, P10. Now lap 2, a lap later, onto lap 3. We set the best lap time of the race so far, for us, of course, personal best lap time, but we get re-overtaken with DRS with ease, not even fighting it. I felt that the car behind was faster. Maybe he can help us drag along up the field, but we're down to P11. On his medium tires working much better through the S's. As you can see, I'm struggling to turn the car still. Like I said, these tires take a while to get up to temperature, but we're going to gain around lap 7, around lap 6, around the middle of their stint. as the medium tires wear out, the hard tires will become faster as they're more consistent than the medium tire, which did degrade much faster. But the Aston Martin's trying to make a move. There's a lockup, I think, for the guy ahead as he spins out all on his own, no contact, and we're up to P10 again. Another free position from a spinner. We can't say it's bad for us. Thank you very much. We get our place into the points right back, and we tuck into spoon curves. Spoon 2 now. It's a little wide of the apex, but we might get a better exit. And we skip it to lap 6. The Aston Martin ahead, pulling away. More pace, like I said. His medium tire is up to temperature much quicker, and him as a driver just has more pace than me at the moment of the race. We're trying to keep P10, and yeah, lap 6, just trying to stabilize the race, trying to get into a rhythm. As you could see, losing the rear end out of the S's up the hill, but we have a first safety car. That throws a spanner in the works, as some people might try to box this lap. This hard tire can go a long way, so people on the medium tire can now currently box and most likely go to the end of the race on the hard tire, as the hard tire doesn't degrade much around this track. So this might just play into their hands right now, as we're stuck on the hard tire going long. Like I said, trying to box around 20, lap 21, onto the soft tire to have maximum advantage on the final laps. Get the reverse strategy, but like I said, safety cars might make it more difficult for us, as some people will box. Yes, 2-3 guys ahead of us already in the box. Like I said, that first strategy, trying to get on the hard as early as they can, control the race from the front, not letting other people by, as track position is key around Suzuka. Very difficult track to overtake on. And we're going to skip to the end of the safety cars. You can see so many people box ahead of us. We're already up to P4, so 6 guys boxed onto the hard tire. We will have to watch that as they come through towards the end of our stint, and see how much more pace we can keep against them. Like I said, this hard tire is more consistent, so their advantage will not be huge, but we'll see how the medium tires ahead of us will deal with the amount of lap times they have done, because it's lap 9 onto lap 10, so these medium tires will start wearing out faster. These hards should be quicker once they get it up to temperature again, as they're ice, brick, cold. Right now 75 degrees on the fronts. The first sector will help heat them up. The high speed corners will help put load through them. So, but we have to be much more careful on the curbs right now to not lose the car. But I'm trying to take later APCs, trying to get as close as I can, but not touch them. As you can see, a very small touch might cause a spin. But onto lap 13, so 3 laps later, being stuck behind Vinny right here, trying to eye up a move into the chicane, but not really close enough. And now the leaders come in. The leaders come in lap 13. That's around where the medium tires should be taken off in a normal race with no safety cars. We'll see. We're up to P3 now as the top guys go side by side into turn 1. No contact. Good pace given as the guy in P1 holds through around the outside. What a great defense into the S's as he still keeps P1. And we're gonna follow them. But the safety car comes out! The second safety car of the race. The leader who just boxed is already out the pits. He has not used his safety car. He got stiffed by the safety car. This throws the race. This throws another spanner in the works for the guys behind, because now we can box onto the medium tire and most likely go to the end, while the guys ahead will have to box onto the hard. So we already have an advantage, plus the 2 laps behind safety car should keep our mediums in a better state as we brake very late, small tap on the rear of the car ahead, trying to, didn't know if I could overtake there, trying to be as tight as I could to him, so maybe we can jump him in the pits if he gets a bad turn, but we get let out and we're just behind him, not really managed to make it work, as the guy ahead also goes ahead, as we have a guy behind on the soft tire with 12 laps to go. That's a long way on that tire, but we'll see how he manages. Of course, he's going to have an advantage on the first laps, as that soft tire will get a lot, the load will get into it more quickly, more temperature, a better acceleration out of these corners after the safety car restart. But we're going to see how it works. My medium tires, in even worse state than my hards before, 66 degrees. These are inters, full wet temperatures, not slicks. So this might be a very difficult restart as I'm trying to weave, but it doesn't really work. Our brakes are at least up to temperature, but this is not going to look well on the first lap. We're down into P9, but a lot of hard runners ahead, so we should have a good advantage over the first few laps, as Vinny here has a nice snap of oversteer that might let us get close to him, but we're all deploying ERS down the straight, trying not to get overtaken by another. But he's saving into turn 1. Is there a place for a move? Not really, but we take turn 2 much tighter. We get much closer on the exit, but there's just no space into the S's. Trying to overtake into the S's is like a suicide mission. There's no way of achieving a good move into there. But we're going to try and stick as close as we can up the hill and through Degnes, maybe for a move into the hairpin, as that's one of the best places to overtake with a lot of space on the outside, so we can force our way in slightly on the inside. But we get a decent exit of the Degnes, using a little bit of ERS. Could this be an opportunity for a move? We go for it down the inside, going slightly wide of the apex, small contact, but we manage to get a better exit on these medium tires. ERS usage down the straight, and yes, we managed to get through. The guy on the soft as well, which we will have to watch out for later. We'll see how much quicker he is than us. And we tuck into Spoon Curve, trying to stay behind JM right now. Up the hill into 130R in a second, deploying ERS. We'll see how it goes, tucking into 130R nice and tight, using the outside curve a little bit too much to my liking. We go on the grass, very wide. We have to take the tighter line, and the guy on the soft overtake us with ease. We just gave up that position. One good news is he has a 3-second penalty for track limits, so even if we stay behind him and he doesn't run away from us, we will be ahead. But I'd rather get ahead of him, as towards the end of this stint his tires will be dead. He still has 9 laps to go as we approach very quickly. Lap 18, nearly 19 after the chicane. But we tuck into 130, are nice and tight, and see, are there moves ahead? There are! Are we just eyeing up a move not close enough? Trying not to cause an accident with 9 laps to go. Rather stay behind, but we're going to use DRS now, as we have a car ahead within 1 second. Use a little bit of DRS. Is there a space for a move? Not really. Pulling out to make him see us in the mirrors. But no move on into turn 2, nice and tight, then good exit and into the S's, trying to stay as tight as possible to get the best possible line through the S's and to the Degnes. Then maybe has a chance for another move into the hairpin, but we're very close, as JM just not having the pace on that hard tire compared to us on the medium and the soft. Again, into the Degnes, nice and safe, trying not to make a mistake from qualifying. And we'll see. They're going side by side into the hairpin. The guy on the soft tri-mark is trying to make a move. We go to way too tight on the curb and get a pretty bad exit. Maybe with a little bit in danger from the guy behind, but spoon curves are not really a place to overtake in. Using a little bit of ERS, staying nice and safe in P9, but we need to get a move on, as the guys in front are slowly starting to run away. There's a gap forming between, I think, P6 and P7 right now. But Trimark on the soft is looking like he's going to make a move into the chicane, but also the guys ahead are bunching up. There's going to be side by side into the chicane, as we now try and keep it nice and tight, not get any penalties. There's a guy forced out wide, JM forced onto the outside line. We're going to try and squeeze through with Trimaker here. We'll follow him in his slipstream. Very nice move, trying to get ahead of the car on our left. Nice, sliding into turn 1, leaving him enough space. And the safety car comes out for the 3rd time. This might just play into our hands very well, as the hard tire guys won't box, because everyone is too tight after the previous safety car. The Trimaker should box again, because these softs are not going till the end, but he stays out. He stays out. 2 guys ahead have 3-second penalties, so we already have 2 free positions compared to them. But Our goal is to try and move up to the leaders, everybody ahead on around 10 lap hard tires. Our medium tires are in much better condition, of course a lighter car, less fuel, so less degradation on the tire, as there's less weight pulling through it on the track. We're using a lot of ERS, didn't have the best restart, but we managed to keep P7, small lockups from Trimaker there, but we go into the S's right behind him. His soft tires still somehow holding on, not losing too much pace to the guys behind him, maybe because their tires are also wearing off. We will see, we're very nice and tight in the uphill section before the Degnas, going to try and keep tight and get as close as we can to him, maybe make a move into the hairpin. Very good entry into Degna 2, allows us to keep close to Trimaker. Will we eye up a move? Yes, we are eyeing up a move. We're going right down the inside, going side by side with Alfred here, but going too tight on the entry allows Trimaker, and probably the temperature, these tires after the safety car as the softs. Oh, there's a crash! Two guys ahead, taking each other out as Trimaker forces Alfred out, and we make 3 places in around 10 seconds. 2 guys wiping each other out before the spoon curves, and then Trimaker making the job for us, helping us with Alfred. And now we're looking at a P3 position. We're looking at a podium place right here, ladies and gentlemen, as Alfred is looking down the inside. No room for him there. And we continue on. Trimaker's 3 seconds. As long as he doesn't run away from us, we're looking at a guaranteed podium. We are not, if we don't make any stupid mistakes on track limits, we should be fine. But we might be eyeing up move on Trimaker here. We're very close into the hairpin. Nice and safe with track limits there. We'll be in his DRS. We'll have a tiny bit of DRS. We're going to use it to our advantage so it doesn't tick by 10%, but we will make a move into turn 1 nice and easy. Staying tight in turn 2, Trimaker didn't give it a fight, but we have 2 seconds to the guys ahead on fresher medium tires. This should be a good fight till the end. It looks like we're going to have a chance at attacking the leaders before the end of the race. As you can see, going into the middle of lap 26, we're just a second behind as they're very close to each other, fighting each other. We're 8/10 in, 9/10 in, we're gaining. We've gained almost 1.5 seconds in around a lap. This shows the difference in tire wear, and yeah, the tire compound as well. The medium tires just providing more grip, especially for the sector 1. And we're very, very close now. 8/10 within DRS of these 2 guys. They're busy fighting each other. They might not see me coming, but we're going to be going onto the last lap of the race. This might not be enough. Our battery's pretty much drained now, 10%, trying not to go below that magic 10%, to not lose speed, but they're going side by side. Could there be a crash? No! They're very safe racing from Yoshi and Yerier here. They stick in 1, 2, 4 now into the S, but look how much time we gain. The grip just superior in our tires, less tire wear to these 2 safety cars. We are managing to keep behind, being faster than the guys ahead. Could this be a move into the hairpin after the Degnas? We're a little far away, 4/10, but the Dertier is going to bring us in as Yerier on his old tires and the Dertier of Yoshi is struggling a bit. We're a little too far trying to eye up a move. Get on the curb! Oh, light contact. Not good enough, not close enough. We missed maybe 2/10 on the exit. If we would be closer, move would be on. And we could have fought for P2, but now he's just pulled away into spoon curves, using a lot of curb, risking a lot now, trying to be as close as we can before 130R. They don't have batteries, still using the last bursts of overtake to maybe get as close as we can into the chicane, but it will be very difficult as they're almost half a second ahead of us, and we go into the hairpin. No move on, we're way too far away, missing maybe a lap, maybe 2 to fight for the win. But yeah, we're gonna come home in P3 for McLaren on our league racing comeback. What a race! What a race, as we see the podium celebrations right here, me in my fake McLaren suit in orange and black in P3. What a race, what a comeback from P12. Probably Not many good moves, a lot of moves done under safety cars or by crashes, but you have to use whatever we have in Formula One. And we come back here with one good opportunistic move in the hairpin to get P3. Yeah, amazing race for a comeback. Imola next time out in around a week's time, depending how I get on with editing. But yeah, see you at Imola, guys. See ya.